Welcome back. If you just joined us, this is The Press. We're reaching you live from KAFTAN's television studio here in the nation's capital, Abuja. Now we have Richard Oriri, who is a public affairs analyst. We'll go straight to analyzing the stories that we read out to you, but our phone lines will not be open yet. Like I said, it is open mic. So in the next 15 minutes, I will open the phone mic and allow you to air your view. Welcome, Richard Oriri.
Good morning, Annabel.
Good morning.
You're looking so glamorous.
Oh, thank you so much. It is the Lord's doing. It is marvelous in our eyes. Okay, so let's go straight to our headline for this morning. And almost all the headline has the same story about Atiku Abubakar versus Bode George. Now, Bode George tells Atiku Abubakar to just rest, leave 2027 election for the youth to lead and also for the Southerners. And he should start thinking of 2031 upwards. By then he'll be 85. But I think Atiku Abubakar saw that as sarcasm, I guess. And then his aide decided to reply saying that talking about 2027 in 2024 is very unpatriotic, that he even does not even have any plan to even run in 2027. What are your thoughts in all of these talks coming back and forth?
I totally align myself with Atiku Abubakar's statement in the first instance, because now we are out, the whole Nigerians, what we are looking forward to see from our leaders is governance, not politics. If an elderly person like Bode George can be talking about 2027 right now, instead of giving advice to leaders in power on how to govern well, and the areas where they are not doing well, to putting them through. These areas you have not done well, these areas you have not done well, checking, in fact, looking into the 1 year administration of the government, both from state, local government, state and federal. He should at least be telling leaders across Nigerians the areas where they are not doing well and the challenges facing all of us as a nation, instead of talking about 2027. But in any case,
but he's also doing that though.
From this statement now that you brought out before me, that is where I'm talking from.
Okay.
If he is talking from the perspective of 2027 and not about governance, then it's not right. That is why I align myself totally with Atiku. And on the other hand, again, on the other side of it, again, if I want to talk about the political arrangement of Nigeria today, I will equally stand with Tinubu, Bode George, and Bode George, by saying that 2027, truly, the Southerners have to complete their 8 years. Because we saw it happened when Jonathan, as a Southerner, was president of this country, and the whole country was almost falling down. I am a Northerner. The whole country was almost falling down, that the North have to complete their 8 years after the death of our president, Yaradua, Musa Yaradua. So now, 2015, the Northerner came on board, Austin Jonathan from power, and Buhari came from 2015. He finishes his 8 years, plus this about 1 year or some months that Yaradua spent, making it a total of 9 years and some months for the North. Now a Southerner is on board. The idea of a Northerner coming to contesting the 2027 election with a Southerner, to me, is not ideal. That is why I said I will align myself totally with Bode George on that, in that aspect. But for him coming to be talking about politics now in that area, I will align myself with Atiku, telling him that 2027 is too far. But in the minds of all the politicians, including Atiku himself, they are all looking forward to 2027.
In fact,
and
to them, 2027 to
it's like tomorrow. It's like tomorrow. They don't even think
is already near.
They don't think about governance. What they are thinking about is how to go into government and better their own personal life and their friends' life, and not the life of Nigerians. So and that is why their attention always is shifted towards election, not about governance. And that is a very serious problem.
I'm going to ask you two questions from what you just stated. Now, you talked about the fact that you're aligning with Bode George with regards to let a Southerner complete their term.
Yes.
Now, who exactly are you referring to? The Southerner, it could be Southeast, could be Southwest, could be even President Tinubu.
South.
It's still South.
We have
is that who you're referring to?
And the South. We have North and South. This North and South comprises of the Southwest, Southeast, and South.
So that's why I'm asking you, is it someone else or the incumbent administration? It could also a South.
It could be the incumbent. There can be 1,000 people contesting from the South in 2027. But the North coming in, anybody from the North coming in to contest the 2027 election with any Southerner is wrong. It's not ideal to me. If we want to talk about inclusiveness in governance in Nigerian politics, so we should be looking at, once we have agreed that there should be zoning, and the zoning now, they have even opened it, they narrowed it to just two, but the meaning North and South. And if you go to South, you can still broaden it by micro-zoning it to either Southeast.
Who zoned the political party or Nigerians?
It's not stated in any of the political parties' constitution.
It's just a gentleman agreement.
It's a gentleman agreement. It's not even stated in our constitution.
Right.
But for the fact that democracy is all about negotiation, it's all about dialogue. And if Nigerians have dialogued within themselves to say the only thing that can bring peace to us as a nation is for rotational presidency, rotational governorship position, rotational chairmanship position, even councillor at the ward level can be rotational. And if they have agreed in style that it should be zoned, the zoning should be rotating between North and South, then normal. When it gets to South, the Southerners the leaders within the southern part of the country can come together to micro-zone. This zone, let's say South, they have benefited through Jonathan. Southwest, they have benefited through Obasanjo. They have benefited again through President Asiwaju, making it two in the Southwest. Okay,
so let me speak for the Southeasterners. How much they benefited?
Now the Southeasterners can present their case before the Southern elders and Southern political leaders. These two zones, they have benefited. Why not consider us now? And that's why the Southeast will present their case logically, and it will be negotiated, and they can be given the opportunity by the elders within the South to micro-zoning the presidency to Southeast. You understand? But for a northerner to contest election in 2027, in politics and in democracy, is right for anyone to come out and say, I'm presenting myself to lead my country, but since we have made the arrangement within ourselves that zoning should be this form, let us respect it. All right, for peace.
Okay, so let's go back to what you also stated. You said that you also align with Atiku Abubakar that 2027 is still far to start talking about it in 2024. Yes. What if you go to some areas, some pocket of areas around here in the FCT? You will see President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's banners around saying 2027 here we come. Isn't that a different?
It is not coming from that is the problem we are having with political followers. We complain about leadership in this country, and the followers, they are the major problems that we have in Nigeria. Those banners, they are coming from sycophants, and you will see their picture boldly scripted on the banners.
Right.
You understand?
It means that they are also
advertising themselves to the person in power. I am supporting you. Please look for me, search for me for appointment. That is what they are doing.
Is that what they are doing?
That is what they are doing. Diverting the attention of the leaders from governance, from what they ought to be doing. It's diversion. They are diverting their attentions. So followers in Nigeria, they are creating serious problems. You will see it if you go to social media, you see them praising leaders that are doing nothing, and they are part of the problem. They are part of the people suffering for what is happening in Nigeria. That we are crying for bad governance across the country. In the whole 36 states of Nigeria today now, just few governors are giving governance to their people. Few. Some have not been seen even on television. since after they assume office as governor, some of them have not been seen on national television telling their people what they are doing and what they want to do next. Engaging the people. We can't see them. Except you see followers on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, WhatsApp, saying all sorts of nonsense, praising them when they are doing nothing. It's a problem. It's a problem.
So it's not just a government challenge. It is we.
The electorate, we are the major problem that Nigeria have.
Let's go to other stories this morning. Ajaero says NLC direct members to converge on police commands. So they're looking. They've actually invited Ajaero for questioning. I can't remember the headline I saw it, but it was with regards to terrorism financing and then the hashtag End Bad Governance protest. And then the members of NLC are warning their people to stay at alert. If you find out that Ajaero was not released or is not released after the meeting, ensure that you stage a protest and strike immediately. What are your thoughts on all of this?
That is gunboat diplomacy. To say if you do this, this is our weapon, we will use it against you. It's not right. If he has been invited for alleged terrorist financing, he should go and clear himself. He's not above the law. Even if it is me, he's just turning himself a fugitive.
But
unnecessarily.
But they've agreed that he is going to turn himself in.
Gathering people to follow him to IG office. IG is a normal human being. It's a normal human, just the uniform that he is wearing, defending the country, policing Nigeria. He's inviting him on the point of law. And as a citizen, he has a right to present himself and defend himself. Okay, they have alleged that he do this. It is his responsibility now to go and clear himself. Under the law, the two major principles of natural justice, you must hear from both sides of every case before you judge. The IG cannot just because of the petition before him mentioning Ajaero to have committed this crime and then go ahead to prosecute him. He will have to hear his own side of the story. It's not the petition before IG. It was not generated from the spiritual realm. Somebody have written the petition, and Ajaero should have to go and answer the petition. The person who wrote the petition will equally give his or her own statement, and Ajaero will give his own statement. They will compare it. If you allege, if you hear who allege, you must prove. So if the person that have alleged that he has done this cannot prove it, Ajaero has still have his own constitutional right within the law to sue the person for defamation of character. So he has every avenue within the law to clean himself. He should go and clean, not by telling his colleagues within the NLC, follow me if I am not released. What
if he did not?
He's indirectly saying
he could be a charismatic leader and then everybody wants to follow.
No, not that. He can even go there quietly, silently, without anybody knowing, if he truly, sincerely believes that he commits no crime.
All right, let's still stay on crime and criminality, and especially with regards to tackling insecurity, NIN and SIM linkage. And NCC has given a final deadline, that's September 14th. But then my question is, all the ones that they've done before now, whether it is NIN and SIM linkage, whether it is BVN, whether you're trying to harmonize your international passport, your driver's license, all of these data that we already have, and yet we're still not able to curb cyber crimes, we're still not able to curb insecurity. Terrorists are still wiring money in and out. A few days ago, Habib Gajo told us on how he had a TikTok open mic, and before you know it, one of the terrorists showed up, Tujil Bello showed up, and then he even started sending money to people, started giving palliatives. Some people received 200, some people received 50,000. And then he said, it is the same people that say they want to fight insecurity, that stop insecurity in Nigeria, but you are accepting the money, that the proceeds from insecurity. What are your thoughts on this?
We are having the problem with no language. I thank God recently, was it yesterday or day for yesterday or so, the president have approved the appointment of a new DG NIA, new DG DSS. I think if NCC cannot handle that aspect. NIA should come in. DSS can come in.
But we've had someone at the helm of affair before now, and you still have the same. It's still tomato.
Do you know that, but you believe that the head of DSS and the head of NIA, they resigned. Not that the appointment was terminated. It could be that the president have seen that they are not delivering to expectation, and he has asked them, you can quit or I sack you. And to sack will be very bad to their image. The best thing for you to do is to resign. And that is what they have done. Possibly. And now bringing these new faces on board, they can take over this, like NIA. They're in charge of external security information gathering. Why DSS? They are in charge of internal security information gathering. Two of them collaborate. If they synergize, all of this will not be anything. There is nothing a DSS cannot do with a SIM card registration. This NIM and what's the other? This in the NIM. You understand that they cannot do with it. Like the other day, somebody posted one picture of a kidnapper who was showing himself with the proceeds of the kidnapped cash, over 1 million naira cash. He snapped himself sitting on the motorbike inside bush, showcasing what he has gained from what he's doing, and nobody could track him. He uses phone to do the picture, the video, the snapping, and that number should be with the NCC. That number must be registered within Nigeria, and they could not get him. So you see, when such things begin to show up, you see other people who don't even have the mindset of getting involved in kidnapping. See them going in. So these people are succeeding, and they are, what he has done, what that picture have done, the message that picture have passed. There are too many young Nigerians who are out there suffering without money, but they are within them. They have to push their shock observer up to see how they will still be enduring the pain and not going to the line of hurting the nation, because they want to be patriotic, they want to be a good citizen. But then this kind of information they are seeing from the kidnappers can lure many of them into the same business, thinking that nothing will happen. Nothing. Like there was a time I went to Kano to interview former Defense Intelligence Agency boss. Then say Haliru Akilu. I interviewed him, and he said, why the insecurity in Nigeria kept going up every day is because the ones that they have arrested, but government have not shown capacity to deal with insecurity in the country. He made mention of Wadume case. He made mention of Evans. That these people that of the one of Evans, he said, how can irresponsible, that was in the time of Buhari, how can a responsible government allow Evans to still be eating food for free? Somebody that have killed too many people, have destroyed so many homes, they are keeping him, giving him free food. What he mentioned of made mention of a Wadume case in Taraba. Wadume that was his own case took over how many police officers' life. Then they are keeping them, and today now Wadume is released. If this kind of thing persists, how will insecurity? But these things have been happening over time. Actually, you also had the issue of Clifford Orji at some point. You had way too many of them. Too many. That's what we call contagious effect. Once it happened here, and nothing happened. It will happen here, and nothing will happen. You understand? It will move from here to, oh no, this thing is happening and nothing is happening. And that is why you see there is no. We have too many problems. But I thank God. I am challenging the new NIA boss, and I am challenging the new DSS boss. The DSS boss now, I think he is coming from within, not from outside. He's somebody that have served from the from this a small level of security to this peak now. He has served in the River State before, where River was so embroiled with a political crisis, and he was able to manage it. So the situation we are in Nigeria, I think the new DSS boss can handle it better. So all of them should come together. They should synergize. DSS and the NIA. They should synergize and see how they will sanitize the security situation in the country.
But then they said that there's one thing to have the willingness to do. There's another thing to have the intention. There's another thing to have the ability to do. So what is the problem here? Is it the willingness, the intention, or the ability?
The problem here is that then they are appointees. Somebody appointed them. Majority of them, most of them may have the political will, the willingness to doing the job. But when you are going to do this job on the side that will affect possibly the person that have appointed you, you will withdraw. Or you just bend over backward. Or when they see that you are going so hard on this person, you see their relatives going from behind, meeting their political organs to talk to their boss, to talk to this. You get it, and before you know it, the call will come. This person, Sopeda. And that is why sometimes, before you know it, some cases that are under investigation, before you know it, you don't hear anything much again. It will be going down, Sometimes even the ones they are taken to court for prosecution, you see, they will say, we don't want media presence. Judge will say, I don't want any media in the... That is when you see that they are already coming in to see how they'll kill that matter. So
they start having
before you know it, nothing will be heard again. How many times have government constituted a panel of investigation to investigate several cases in Nigeria? How many times have you seen report coming out? It's a problem. Political will to doing this is a problem. It's one of the major problems we are having in the country. All
right, before we round off on this segment, so we can open our mics so that our callers can call in, let's take our last headline. Talks about the policy or the peg on students entering the university that it has to be from age 18 and above. But then parents have come out to say that why would you ask for such? Because I was stating when I was reading some of the headline, I know of someone who I was talking to via my LinkedIn. She is 23 and she's a professor abroad. So if you say that from 18 upwards, that's when you can enter the university, how can you then have the opportunity to dream big and have all of this? Even when you go to the offices, they'll tell you that if you are over XYZ age, you cannot apply. Now that's one on the side. And secondly, the leadership newspaper says internship policy, NYSC rejects HND graduates at orientation camps, demand industrial training certificates, and potential core members stranded as officials halt screening. That's one other side. Then if you go to the flip side, to other news, on the New Telegraph says Nigeria spent $87.35 billion on foreign education and PTA in 10 years from a particular report. Merge all of this together and let's get your reaction before we round off.
And let me start from the age bracket before you enter university. I think we are having serious problem in our education system. Like if the politicians who are saying this now, pegging it on age 18 before you can get to university, it's not right at all to me. Because on the day of election, they have not brought out any law. There is a law that you must be age 18 before you can vote. But when the election comes, the election they have taken majority of them to power today. It's age Nigerians, age 15, age 14, age 10 can vote, but age 15 cannot go to university in Nigeria. To me, it's wrong. Now, which force? There's one force that is recruiting. In the recruitment, I called one of my brother who read sociology. I said, go and apply. He checked and said they say 23 or 20 something years. How can somebody like him, who went to school in the village, primary school, before you go to primary school, they will say cross your hand like this. You get
Gen Zs don't know what you just said.
You understand?
The Gen Alphas, they don't understand that you just mentioned.
You get my point. So now he has graduated, and he graduated almost close to the age of 30. And somebody will say, before you enroll for this, you should be 20-something years. So majority of our rural populace will not have the opportunity to even be given employment anywhere, because those people who are coming from the rural area. That is why, to me, anybody that wants to come for leadership now, that will deal with things like public policy, you have to first of all go deep in studying what they call rural sociology. If you study rural sociology, you will know the problems that the rural populace, the rural people in the country, in your environment, they face. If you do rural sociology, you will see that this issue of pegging these people within the age of 18 before you enter university, majority of Nigerians cannot enter university. Majority of Nigerians cannot even get employment. Because employment, they are pegging it to say you must be this age this before you can qualify for this, and you must have so years of experience. Who gave you the experience? Who gave you the job that you have that experience? So they are doing all of that to better their own self, because it's only their children that will have the opportunity. If you don't have the opportunity to enter university at the age of 18 in Nigeria, their own children have the opportunity to enter university even at the age of 10 outside the country. And they are doing it, and once they train themselves from there, they will bring them here, and they will meet up with the age criteria to enter whichever office they want. So the policy is against the poor people. The policy is not against the bourgeoisie.
It's anti-people.
It's not against the elite. The policy is against the proletariat. You understand? So they have to resign that decision. It's not to our interest as a nation. Then the other one, which
HND talks about NYC rejecting HND graduate at orientation camp.
They just don't want people who don't have money to have admission into university once to go to school. So many Nigerians who go to Polytechnic now, even NCE, they are doing that to at least see how they will upgrade from school SAT, SSCE, to at least have another certificate attached to it. Not that is their choice. And if this kind of a thing is coming, you are demoralizing people. Why? I think Minister of Education have to sit itself up, because this policy is coming from JAMB, and JAMB don't have the right under the law to come up with this kind of policies. Minister of Education that should come up with this kind of policy, not JAMB.
All right.
JAMB is going they are going above boundary. They are going above. They should screen all of them to participate in NYSC. They cannot. See, if those people want to protest, even JAMB registrar, he will not sit in the office.
But then you remember there was a time that they kept talking about making HND holders at least equivalent to
BSc. What is the difference? Some of these HND holders, they are more intelligent, more brilliant. Because they go through the technical, than even more technical.
Is more of practical and technical skills that they have developed.
Another challenge again is that the infrastructure for that technicality is still not there in Nigeria. The facilities, if you go to some of these colleges or polytechnics, you will see that they don't even have the infrastructure for real practical work. In those days, in the secondary school where I finished, government secondary school, like if you enter our introductory technology practical lab
or the biology lab.
Once you finish secondary school, in those days, you can turn to a complete upholstery person. You can do anything you want to do. Introductory technology. In those days, you will do it from school, from class, the theoretical aspect of it. Right. They will take you to the lab and teach you the practical aspect of it.
I recall when they will ask you to bring dead rats, bring dead mouse.
That is a biology.
And then
biology,
the one that most students used to like is when they start teaching reproductive
physics, chemistry, lab. In those days, in government secondary school, I can still remember everything. I can picture everything in the whole lab.
Richard Oriri.
But today, if you go to most of this is not technical school. Oh. This is GSS, government secondary school. If you reach all the lab, physics, chemistry, biology, introtech, every equipment full. But today, they have disappeared.
We've decided to drop our gun. Thank you so much, Richard Oriri. It's been a wonderful time talking to you. It's always a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you.
All right, viewers, let's take one or two social media videos, then we'll bring in, I love this, there's this video I love on social media. Let's take that one, then when we come back, I would open my phone line so you can call in to make your contributions or ask your question. This is The Press.